Storm Tammy rolling through the Berks County area, and they are making for some very adverse conditions here today in Reading as the Pioneers and the Lions get set for battle in this one. Hello and welcome to Shirk Stadium. Steve Degler along with Bob McCool. Glad to have you with us for the second of our 4 live telecasts of Albright College football this year. And Bob, it couldn't have gone any better the first time around for us. 2 weeks ago, the Lions hosting Kings. It came down to the final play, trailing 27-23.
John Port just simply lofting the old Hail Mary pass into the corner of the end zone. Kings does what they want to do and tip it, and Andy Cerise comes from behind and makes the catch. A dramatic come-from-behind victory, and it's been kind of the way things have gone so far for Albright.
Albright has trailed big time in 3 of the 4 wins. You got to figure today with Widener, next week with Delaware Valley, they can't get away with it again.
That's really what it boils down to. You can call it luck, you can call it destiny. The coaching staff right now for Albright is kind of referring to it as character building. But the bigger the hole, the tougher the competition, the harder it is going to be to come from behind, especially against a team like Widener, full of great athletes. They can put you in a hole that you just can't climb out of.
We take a look at the MAC standings, and right now Delaware Valley, which has a bye this week, is at the top with a 5-0 record. This is a huge game. You got second place against third place meeting here this afternoon.
And it's a game that Albright certainly can't look past Widener. Not only are they right behind them, but Delaware Valley is on the schedule for Albright next week. It's 1 and 1A in terms of importance for Albright. They got to take care of business today, and this is a Widener team that is coming here gunning for Albright.
No secret, Albright likes to throw the football. It's a big part of the offense, but in the win at Juniata last week, they had a lot of success running the football, and with conditions as they are today, they might need that ground game again.
And they do it kind of with a 3-headed monster, and that 3-headed monster accounted for 181 yards and 5 touchdowns in that win last week. It starts with Vinny Andrews. He is the starter in the 3 deep, really, at running back spot, because he can do so many things, both as a runner, as a pass receiver, and technically as a blocker as well. Drew Schiller is 2 on the 2 deep, and he's the biggest of the 3, and if they ever go to an I situation, Drew Schiller will actually be the fullback. And then it's the third guy, the change-up, if you will, and that's Raymond Keschel. In baseball parlance, change-up means slower. In Albright's case with Raymond Keschel, it means faster. At 5'5" and 165 pounds, he can hide a little bit behind the line of scrimmage with those big offensive linemen in front of him. And once he hits that hole and can get into the secondary with that speed, he can make people miss him.
Well, last week, Widener shredded the Moravian defense, scoring 34 points. And the guy leading the way was a freshman, Khalid Prothro, winning a lot of honors along the way.
He was the MAC Offensive Player of the Week and a lot of other honors to go along with it all the way through Division III. But Khalid Prothro can do a lot of things in a lot of ways, as a runner, as a pass receiver, and on special teams. 351 all-purpose yards a week ago, and he did it on 28 touches. I'll save you the math. That's 12.5 yards per every time he touches the football. He is one of those great athletes we're talking about with Widener, and he is a special kind of football player.
Lousy weather here today, but a big football game, and we've got the top 2 quarterbacks in the MAC as well. John Port on the left for Albright. He leads the conference in passing, and it is Mike Lomas, number 2. He'll call the signals for Widener. We'll have the opening kickoff from Shirk Stadium right after this. Steve Degler, Bob McCool back at Shirk Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania, getting set for the kickoff between the Widener University Pioneers, who are 3-1 on the season, 3-1 in MAC play, and it's just lousy here. Humid 71 degrees. It has poured since yesterday afternoon, and not expected to get a whole lot better this afternoon with the rains continuing, but the turf field has held up thus far, and Albright is looking to stay perfect. The Lions will receive the football to start the game. They come in at 4-0 overall, 3-0 in MAC play. Raymond Keschel will return the kick for the Lions in their red jerseys, moving from right to left here in the first quarter. Frank D'Angelo will tee it up, freshman from Wallingford, Pennsylvania. And we are underway at Shirk Stadium. Low line drive kick dropped by Zach Finley at the 25-yard line. Finley recovers, brings it across the 30 to about the 33-yard line, and that is where the Lions will have it. 1st and 10. Albright coming in with a high-powered offense led by the senior quarterback, John Port, who is capping an amazing career here in Reading. Port this year, 97 for 156, only 2 interceptions. He's thrown for 10 touchdowns and over 1,200 yards. He's 5th in Division III history in passing yards with 10,957. And Keschel does get the start at tailback. Correct that, it's not. It's Vinnie Andrews, 26, not 29, who gets the start. And right up the middle, Bob, he goes to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 7 on the play.
Well, as we mentioned in the open, it's paramount that Albright runs the football in these kind of conditions. You've got to be able to effectively run the football.
The 3 receivers, Haupt, AC, and Cerise, beats the tight end Holscher, Laco, Wilgucki, Morrissey, and Niebel across the front for the Lions, who go in a hurry. Andrews gets the carry again. He is close to a first down, as Albright with a couple of running plays to get things going here today. Defensively for Widener, Gallo, Caba, who was doing a lot of trash talking at the outset of this game, and Parcell up front. The backers, Marangolo, McFadden, Dixon, and Yost. Martorell, Huggins, Todd Fairley, an excellent safety, and Zach Santiago rounding out the defensive secondary for Widener. 3rd down and a short one. It is Schiller, his first carry, and he'll have a first down, crashing to the 45-yard line. An excellent execution thus far for Albright.
And doing what they have to do and effectively moving the chains in their first series. That was something that they struggled with early on in getting the offense going, especially 2 weeks ago in the game against Kings right here at Albright College. It was a matter of trying to get the offense on track. They weren't able to do so until the second half. And again, we talk about the comebacks. This is a situation with Albright having the football right away, moving the football effectively, and now Port completes his first pass.
Port throwing short and complete on his first attempt to Keith Allen. There is David Wood, who is the 3rd-year head coach at Widener, the first alum to come back and coach the Pioneers. He is 14-10 in his career, off to a 3-1 start this season. Gain of 6 on the hookup to Allen. 2nd down and 4 right at midfield. Andrews, the lone setback. He'll get the carry, little stutter step, and he bounces into Widener territory, getting a yard to the 49. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
And he did so by effectively avoiding Mike McFadden, the inside linebacker, who got some initial penetration, but Schiller was able to sidestep that tackle and take what could have been a yard loss in the backfield and take it into Widener territory at the 49-yard line.
E.J. Sandusky with the rain gear on, 9th year as the head coach at Albright. His career marked 47-39, just 2-6 against Widener. This game a shootout last year. The Pioneers won here at Shirk Stadium 52-35 in a game that featured more than 1,000 yards of total offense. And here is Andrews up the middle again for a first down inside the 40 to the 37. He picks up 12 more.
And credit the offensive line. Right up the middle is where Andrews goes. Running behind Ed Wilgucki, the center. The right guard is Morrissey. The left guard is Steve Laco. And a huge hole for Andrews to get through. He's 4 or 5 yards into Widener's secondary before anybody makes contact with him. First down pickup inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. 12 yards on a run for Schiller.
Right for Andrews, Andrews left side, and nothing going this time. The Widener defense with great pursuit has the answer on this play. First one to get there was Fran Golden, a 5'9" senior from CB West High School in Doylestown.
And part of what you take into consideration with Widener is, as we mentioned in the open, they're great athletes. They put a lot of great athletes on the field, and I would think conditions being what they are and the speed of Widener being what it is, it's going to be tough to go sideline to sideline or around the ends with the running game. If you're going to go with the running game, which is where they had success so far, it's the delayed handoffs up the middle.
2nd and 13. Port's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Mo Caba out of the Milton Hershey School with the deflection, and Albright stalling for the moment, now facing a 3rd down and 13 at the Widener 40-yard line.
Getting the big hand up there, and you see Caba, the nose tackle, and he's a very effective guy in the middle in a 3-4 defensive alignment for Widener. And Caba at 5'11", 260 pounds is more the run stopper than anything, but as any good defensive lineman will do, he gets his hands up there when he can't get penetration into the backfield.
Here's Port, blitz coming. Andrews open in the flats, going to have to do a lot of this on his own, and Andrews will not be able to get the first down as he's at the 34-yard line. He'll be about 7 yards shy. John Martorell, the sophomore from Chichester High School, makes the stop.
Safe defense that time for Widener. You give up the short play, but you don't give up the big play. But in this situation for Albright, you are in 4-down territory, as now Keith Allen, number 41, will check into the game, and they'll go with a 4-receiver set with no tight ends. And this is a situation that is fine for John Port. Obviously, field conditions being what they are, it's a battle of field position with this kind of weather.
4th and 7, he goes for Cerise, on a deep slant, and it's out of his hands at the 15-yard line, incomplete, and Widener's defense holds. The Pioneers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Good looking pass that time for Port, and Cerise had a step on the defender. This defender was freshman Anthony Huggins, but Cerise just not able to hold on to the football. There you see the pass, and Huggins is clearly a step behind Cerise. Cerise would have had to make a lunging catch. Tough conditions to catch a football, but Andy Cerise just couldn't hold on to that, and Widener will take over.
Shotgun trips right for the Pioneers on their first play from scrimmage, and they'll give it to Prothro. The lone setback, and Khalid Prothro across the 35 to the 37. He has 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. The quarterback is Mike Lomas, a 6'5", 215-pound senior from Broomall, Pennsylvania. Went to Cardinal O'Hara High School, completing 58% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, only 3 picks, and he has thrown for over 1,100 yards this season. And he is a good one. Ranked number 2 in the MAC in passing, right behind Albright's John Port. Lomas owns a couple of records at Widener. He throws short and incomplete. Good pressure coming from the Lions, and the pass too low for Mike Schmidt. Not a third baseman, but a wide receiver. It'll be 3rd down and a long 6.
Just trying to set up a little bubble screen that time and get the ball into the hands of Schmidt.
Prothro and Fagnani are in the backfield. Chick, an excellent receiver, along with Stever and Shaw, the tight end. Michael Fagnani, brothers, Calazos, Marchetti, Chambers, and McAleer along the front line for that Widener offense.
And just to finish the thought on that little bubble screen, that's the kind of stuff that Widener likes to do. They'll get the ball into the hands of their athletes and try and let them make plays or put them in a position to make something big happen.
Lomas loses the football, and he'll fall on it back at the 32-yard line, and get ready for that today. No matter how dry the officials think they have the ball, it's going to be slippery, and Widener will have to punt on a 3-and-out.
And it will go down as a fumble by definition for Mike Lomas and Widener.
Here is that defense that held. Weiser, Chicamero, Schmidinger, and Gill up front. Andrew, Minotti, Sabara, the backers, Butler, Christ, Benson, and Johnson doing a good job in the secondary so far this year for the Lions. Schlack is the punter. Tough day for the kickers as well, and he booms a high spiral. Naoki Kuramoto sent back to his own 24-yard line, and that is where he will be brought down on John Martorell's special teams tackle. Great kick of 44 yards for Schlack.
And we take a look at this last play for Widener and watch the football in the hands of Mike Lomas. He's set. He's got plenty of time to throw the football. No penetration. It just simply slips right out from his hands. And it's an alert play on Lomas's part to fall on the football immediately. Unfortunately for Albright, they didn't have much penetration and were not in a position to recover the fumble. But it's a condition that is going to be a big, big part of this football game, and that's holding on to the ball.
Drew Schiller, the running back, on 1st down, gets nothing. Stopped at the 24-yard line. Mo Kaba again with the play for Widener and flexing his muscles after making the tackle.
And Widener came into this football game, and watching them in warm-ups, they were pumped up for this football game, and Albright has to counter that right now. Widener has come to play. They want to come here to Reading, Pennsylvania, and show Albright what they're all about. They trail them technically in the standings at 3-1. With a 1 loss, they want to make up for it right now, and a win over Albright would make a big, big difference in Widener's season.
Looked like a bad throw by Port. Actually was a good throw because Brian Haupt was well covered. That was a play that was going nowhere, and Albright faces a 3rd down and 10. The Lions have not scored a point in the first quarter this season.
You mentioned that in our meeting a couple days ago with E.J. Sandusky, and you could actually see the hair in his neck start to stand up one by one. They know it. They're very well aware of it. It's something that's kind of stuck in their craw a little bit. They're just trying to get their offense started early.
Good protection. Looking for AC down the field. Cannot hang on in double coverage as Martorell was there again. Port just a little too tall for AC down the center of the field, and the Lions will have to punt for the first time today, and we'll see who gets the call early. Sandusky has used 3 different punters today.
And let's watch. Stephen Acey is the guy that Albright truly believes. He's just a sophomore. He's going to be the next great receiver at Albright College. And he almost comes up with a fabulous catch. Port just threw it up there and said, Stephen, make a play for us. And great coverage downfield. You cannot fault the coverage of Martorell, but AC just couldn't hold on. Almost came up with a great catch.
We say 3 punters this year. It's Seth Kaplan who hits the deck. No flag on this one as he kicks it away from Jeff Chick. And Widener will end up with excellent field position on the exchange of punts. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at their own 45-yard line with 8:58 to play in the first quarter.
As explosive as these two offenses have been throughout this season, or over the last couple of weeks in the case of Widener, this is a game that's going to be predicated because of the weather conditions on field position and special teams. And already, it's early on, but Widener has started to change things around with that great punt from Schlock. Got Albright backed up. Now they get good field position in their second series starting from their own 45-yard line.
Offset eye here. It is Prothro on 1st down, trying to get to the outside. He'll make it to midfield. A pickup of 5 on the play. Matt Christ, the sophomore from Reading Central Catholic High School, makes the tackle, and he'll actually get forward progress to the Albright 49, so call it a pickup of 6 at 2nd down and 4.
Good open field tackle by Chris. Good job by the safety to realize the run's coming right away, and he closed a hole in a hurry. Great blocking by the left side of the offensive line by Widener. Fagnani is the tackle, and Colazos is the left guard, and they open up a big hole, and Chris had to fill it. The free safety comes up to make the tackle, but not before Prothro was 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Little counter to Prothro on 2nd down, tries to bounce it to the outside and will not be able to make it. The leading tackler for the Lions has another one. Steve Butler, his 42nd of the season. A pickup of a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 3 at the Albright 48.
Butler gets credit for the tackle, but it's Mohammed Sadiq, number 6, who makes the play for Albright defensively because he strung it out. He forced Prothro. Here comes Sadiq. Watch number 6. He strings out Prothro. Prothro has to get around him, and then there comes Butler to finish it off. So Steve Butler gets the tackle, but give Mohammed Sadiq an unofficial assist in slowing down Prothro's progress in order for Butler to make the tackle.
Mike Lomas working out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 3. Throws over the middle. It is complete. A wide open Mike Schmidt inside the 30-yard line. Still going at the 20 as Albright does not wrap him up. And Schmidt to the 19-yard line. A pickup of 29 on the play and a 1st down for the Pioneers.
And as we mentioned a moment ago, simply get the football in your hands of your athletes and make them make a play. Schmidt takes advantage of a blown coverage. Middle linebacker Pete Minotti, the closest one to him, he can't catch up with Schmidt, and there's the faulty tackling. Chris let him get away from him. Butler finally wraps him up. Ironically enough, it's one of the things that Albright thought they could take advantage of with Widener in their kind of arm tackles, and Albright falls prey to it, gives Widener a big gainer inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line.
On 1st down, Prothro gets the carry, and Minotti will make the stop. Gain of 2 to the 17-yard line. It's 2nd down and 8. Pete Minotti with 3.5 tackles for a loss already this year. He was the MVP of the ECAC South Atlantic Championship game last year. The Lions winning that one over McDaniel. Minotti had 11 tackles in that game.
And 2 weeks ago in a game we did against Kings, he was kind of taken out a little bit, but he came back with a much stronger game last week with 7 tackles in the game against Juniata. He's their leader in the middle and the kind of the quarterback of the defense, if you will, from that middle linebacker spot.
Fake the handoff to the man in motion. 2nd man through is Dominic Rock, and Rock will get to the 11-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. A lot happening on that play, and Rock able to sneak through for 6 yards.
It's all about misdirection in that particular scenario for Widener, and Rock, who was going to be the main runner for Widener coming in before the emergence of Prothro. There you see they get guys in motion going in different ways, and then they just go with the handoff to Rock, hoping the misdirection will kind of open things up in the middle, and it worked effectively. Albright shuts him down before he picks up the 1st down to bring up 3rd, about 2.
Lomas will keep it straight ahead, and it is going to be close. Certainly 4-down territory for the Pioneers. The ball is inside the 10-yard line. Our referee, Steve Dobis, will take a look, and he'll call it a 1st down on the sneak by Lomas.
So Lomas will come to the sidelines right now and check things out as to how Widener wants to do things. There you get a good look at Mike Lomas. Great size at 6'5", 215 pounds. And it's kind of an interesting story between Mike Lomas from Cardinal O'Hara High School and John Port from Monsignor Bonner High School. These two guys have been going head-to-head against one another since high school. It's a great internal rivalry. They've put up great numbers in their career here in the MAC, and they really have a bit of an internal rivalry amongst themselves.
Prothro from the wide receiver spot, trying to get to the corner, loses the football, and in the end zone, it's called
right. Mike Schmidt fell on it first, and that's the touchdown. Butler pulled it away, but Schmidt had fallen on the football in the end zone, and that's why the officials called it a touchdown. But the linesman right now is still standing at the 1. Let's see if they don't rule it a fumble first. It looks as if, based on the personnel change on the field, that Widener thinks they got a touchdown. But that's what we're going to see if we can see it right now. It's a great tackle coming up as Prothro has room to run, uses his speed to get around the corner. Here comes Chris to knock it loose along with Johnson. There's the football loose. Schmidt has it, doesn't have it for very long, and Butler took it away. I think it was loose football. I don't know if Schmidt had it long enough for that to be a touchdown. The extra point is no good, so it'll be 6-0 Widener, but a bit of a controversial 6-0 lead for the Pioneers.
Well, Vincey misses the point after. We'll take a couple more looks when we come back. 5:11 to play, first quarter. It's 6-0 Widener in front of the Albright College Lions. Frank D'Angelo will kick off for Widener after a controversial touchdown for the Pioneers, giving them an early 6-0 lead. 5:11 to play in the first quarter at Shirk Stadium in Reading. Raymond Keschel on the right, Naoki Kuramoto on the left. Back deep for the Lions. Low line drive kick. Keschel at the 21-yard line. Gets through the wedge across the 35, out close to the 37-yard line. Good field position for the Lions, who find themselves down 6-0, but they thought they had a touchback instead of a Widener touchdown. Let's take a look.
Well, here we'll see it all come away. We've got a couple looks at it. Here comes Prothro. His speed turns the corner. Josh Benson, number 1, is going to come up and knock the football loose. It's loose. It's free in the end zone. Schmidt, number 19, falls on it. Butler pulls it away, but the officials had already signaled a touchdown. Let's see if Schmidt ever really has full possession of it. The ball is loose. It's laying there. Schmidt falls on it, and the official's going to block our view on this particular angle. But here we're going to see it very well right now. Schmidt falls on it, but he never really had possession of the football, and Butler rips it away on the loose football. I think it should have been a touchback in favor of Albright, because Schmidt, although he fell on it in the end zone, he never had possession of the football. You can't just touch it in the end zone. You actually have to have possession of the football, and Butler is the only guy that really ever gained possession in the end zone. It should have been Albright's football at the 20 and no score. Instead, Albright finds themselves in familiar territory, down by 6 points.
We had an illegal participation penalty against Widener, which will cost them 5 yards. Steve Dobis, the referee, walking off the 5. So 1st and 5 for the Lions at the 42-yard line. Here is Vinny Andrews. Close to a first down as he just runs right over the would-be tackler on his own bench. That was Orlando Brown, who got knocked under the Albright sideline.
Steve, you and I talked about this before the game. When we watched these two teams warming up, Widener looked hungry. They looked fired up. That play in the end zone may have just flipped itself against the Pioneers, and Albright now seems to be a little irate over what happened. Fired them up a little bit. Vinny Andrews helping the cause. They're going to say it's not a first down, I guess. It's awful close. They got to measure. Okay, the chain crew just a little bit slow. Working on a 7-second delay, but the chain crew does make the move. It is a first down pickup for Andrews, and Albright got very good field position out of all this mess.
Albright's now been outscored 38-0 in the first quarter this year, but keep in mind the missed extra point, which helped the Lions in the win here over Kings 2 weeks ago.
And it has been Vinny Andrews so far who's been the bulk of all of the offense, really, for Albright.
Short throw for Haupt, incomplete.
You could see that John Port really is just not being, right now, can't really find a grip on the football. Port was open. It wasn't going to be much of a gain, but Port really just can't get a good grip on the football. And is almost kind of shot-putting it a little bit right now.
Go back to the touchdown. 2 things I noticed. It looked like Widener nearly and maybe had 2 men in motion at the time of the snap, and the referee who made the touchdown call was out of position.
Yeah.
He actually walked from the 2-yard line to the goal line and then raised his arms for a touchdown. He was well behind the play. But it doesn't matter now. It's 6 for Widener. It's not going to change, and the Lions will try and answer back again with Andrews, who takes it into Pioneer territory for 4 to the 49. It's 3rd down and 6.
And one more thing about that play. Let's not lose sight of the fact that a great tackle made by Josh Benson at the 2-yard line. Came up and just stuck that helmet right on the football, knocking it loose from Prothro. So he did what he had to do as the corner, coming up with containment and denying the touchdown.
Blitz coming. Port throws complete to AC. Spins out of a tackle, has a first down at the Widener 40-yard line. A pickup of 9 on the play, and a late flag comes in, and this might be on Kaba, who's finally might get hit for all that emotion he has been showing out there today.
He has been the emotional leader for Widener, and maybe at this particular point in time to the team's detriment. There you get a good look at Stephen Acey. As we said, he is the guy. John Port will tell you, the coaching staff will tell you, we really think he's going to be the next great receiver at Albright. There, the personal foul penalty called against the Pioneers. So give them a first down and then another one on the personal foul penalty. There's Acey. Simply just a little button hook pass, spins away from one defender, gets away from another before Widener can finally wrap him up. That extra effort by Acey gets him the first down. And there's Kaba, completely unnecessary after the play is over, trying to give him a shove a little bit, and it costs his team 15 yards.
We watched during warm-ups, the referees had to physically move Mo Kaba back to the Widener side of the 50-yard line twice, and there he gets called for 15 yards, and it's 1st and 10 Lions at the Widener 25. Port throwing for Haupt over everybody. Actually went through the hands of Todd Fairley, the safety, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Lions.
Port now just 3 for 9 throwing the football after that 9-yard pickup to Acey a play ago, but that probably was a good incompletion on the part of Port because the intended target, Haupt, was well covered, actually double covered. And that's been a problem right now for Albright. Haupt has been their leading receiver, but defenses are making that adjustment, and he is seeing a lot of double coverage.
They give it to Andrews out of the shotgun, and Andrews inside the 25-yard line. A hard 3 to the 22. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. Big hit by number 52, Carroll Dixon, a 6-foot junior linebacker.
Very active linebackers for Widener. Matt Yost also coming up after Dixon made the initial contact, and Yost kind of drove Andrews into the ground. The outside backers, Marangolo number 44, and Yost are very busy, not only as pass rushers, but in the run game as well.
3rd down and 8, call it, throwing for Cerise, and Port again well off the mark with his throw. It'll be 4th and 8 at the 23-yard line. In these conditions, probably too far for a field goal. Widener able to get some pressure on Port.
And it comes from Matt Yost, the aforementioned Matt Yost, number 11, and a blitzing linebacker, and Port does a great job of pump faking him up in the air, but he didn't give Cerise time to break free. That penetration by Yost kind of threw the timing off a little bit for Port, and Port simply rushed the throw.
Yost with 5 sacks already this year. Albright going forward on 4th down again, and again failing to convert as Port misses Haupt badly again. And for the 2nd time, Widener will take over on downs. Albright is now 5 for 14 on 4th down conversions this season.
And John Port just continues to have trouble right now, either holding onto the football or waiting for his receivers to break open. And that's been a problem in the first couple of series, and it's a problem that they're going to have to adjust if Widener's going to come back. Albright's going to come back in his game.
We'll take a break, getting the clock straightened out. First quarter, it's 6-0, Widener in front. Clock has been reset to 3 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the first quarter. Widener in possession, leading 6-0. Pioneers 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. We are going without 25-second play clocks here today, so quarterbacks must be aware of that. Pioneers will keep it on the ground on 1st down. Dominic Rock, the sophomore from Cardinal Doherty High School in Philadelphia, will pick up 2 to the 25 at 2nd down and 8. And the conditions playing havoc with all kinds of things in the area, and no 25-second play clock here this afternoon.
You know, it's funny. 2 weeks ago when we were here for the home opener, it was all about style in this brand new stadium and new service. Now we're finding about substance of this new service and what these new playing conditions can really do. Obviously, without the new turf, this game would not be being played this afternoon.
Lomas mishandles the snap and then hands it to Prothro as they tried the draw, and that play goes absolutely nowhere. Thanks to Matt Gill, the senior from North Penn High School. No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 8.
So back-to-back good defensive plays up front. It was Matozo, number 98, the play before, and here comes Gill this time as they just stuff everything. Here comes Gill and just wrapping him up, bear-hugging Prothro to the ground. Matozo has become a force up front. He gives them, they put a lot of different bodies up front in that front 4. They'll use 8 men across the front 4 over the course of the game, and the fresh legs have really helped Albright.
Lomas throws short, a lot of room given for Jeff Chick, and he makes his. Mack leading 32nd catch of the year. Nobody near him, and he has a 1st down at the Albright 36-yard line, a gain of 11.
We've talked about Port having problems. We've seen Lomas having problems with the football, and coming out of the shotgun, here comes the snap to Lomas, and Lomas is really kind of trying to bring that thing in the whole way. And even when he tries to throw the football, watch him fight to get control of the football, but this is a mistake that cannot happen. Jeff Chick, as good of a receiver as he is, cannot be that wide open in the middle of the field for a first down for Widener.
That's his 130th career catch, 5th in Widener history. Lomas with all kinds of time. Add another one for Chick as he makes the catch for another first down across the 46 to the 47-yard line as he got a step on Rich Sabara, the linebacker, and Widener through the air has back-to-back first downs.
And they're doing it by getting open against the linebackers. It's not the corners that they're getting open from. Albright's going to have to make some change-ups in terms of coverage right now because the linebackers seem to be trying to go one-on-one with the receivers. And there you see Sabaro trying to catch up to Chick from behind. But obviously Chick had beaten him to the punch and gotten open for another first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Gain of 11 on the play. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lomas with a quick throw this time and a nice diving catch at midfield made by James Fagnani, the fullback, with his 7th catch of the season. It's a gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7.
First time that Albright really has gotten good penetration to the backfield. Gill, number 47, gets in the face. James Andrews, the backup middle linebacker, also got good penetration, and it kind of forced Lomas to throw that football perhaps a little bit sooner than he would have liked to. It's still good for a couple yards to the 50-yard line, but that's it.
These quarterbacks don't make a whole lot of mistakes. Lomas and Port have combined to throw over 300 times this year, only 5 interceptions. Here's Prothro off the left side. Albright with a pretty good surge. Prothro gets maybe a yard into Albright territory. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Pioneers as we approach the 1-minute mark in the first quarter.
Well, obviously, Albright defensively spent a lot of time concentrating on that young man. Khalid Prothro, number 26 for Widener. He had the huge game a week ago, and Albright, to this point in time, in the final minute of the first quarter, has really done a good job of shutting him down, holding him to under 20 yards so far through 1 quarter of play.
Prothro did not see a whole lot of action the first couple of weeks, but teams are starting to learn about him quite a bit.
He has made a huge difference in terms of what Widener has been able to do offensively.
No backs here. Pressure coming. Schmidt underneath cannot handle the football. It'll be ruled an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 6, and a Widener lineman is down at midfield. It looks like Dom Marchetti, the senior center from Ewing, New Jersey.
Just to finish the thought on Khalid Prothro and his impact with Widener. We'll finish that thought. We'll take a break. 33 seconds left in the first quarter.
6-0, Widener in front. Will they go for it? We'll find out when we come back to Shirk Stadium in just a moment. 33 seconds to play in the first quarter. Widener in front, 6-0. The Lions trailing, but doing some hard hitting early on in this MAC conference game here at Shirk Stadium.
Well, there's been a lot of contact up front and a lot of things going on up front as well, as we see the play that Schmidt cannot hold on to the football. And there you see what happened to Marchetti as actually, I believe it was his own player, Schmidt, actually rolled into him from behind and kind of had his leg roll up from underneath him. Marchetti, the starting center, at 6'1", 300 pounds. The backup in the 2 deep is Justin Barbley at 6 foot 265. So they get a lot smaller up front next time Widener gets the football. Right now they have to punt.
Koromoto back deep. Doug Schlack a 44-yarder first time. He averages just under 38 yards a kick. And he pops it straight in the air. The infield fly rule is in effect. And this will be much shorter than 44 yards. It's going to be negative yards. It is going to be minus 3 yards on the punt as it comes back to the Widener 48-yard line. What a huge break for the Lions.
Well, I've hit a lob wedge already that looked kind of like that, but I don't think Schlack wanted to do that. Schlack has been terrific as a punter. Averages over 37 yards a kick, and he's hit 11 of 20 of them inside, or 11 of 24 inside the 20-yard line. And this looks like what he's trying to do here is trying to hit a pooch punt, but it hit off the side of his foot and went straight up in the air. And I mean straight up. I'm talking elevator shaft straight up in the air and came back down. Actually took an Albright bounce on top of it. But the Lions are not going to get themselves a better break than this. Terrific field position starting in Widener territory at the Pioneer 48-yard line.
The work out of the eye. Penalty flag on the play. This will be in the area of offensive holding as Keschel gets his first carry. It won't matter, as this will almost certainly go against the Lions unless there was a face mask in there by a Widener defensive lineman.
Well, Albright had done a better job a week ago in the game against Juniata to cut down on their penalties. 2 weeks ago when we saw them here in their home game, they were #1 in penalties committed. And they commit another one, and again, get great field position, start at the Widener 48-yard line, and that quickly you're going to be back in your own side of the 50 after the penalty.
Well, E.J. Sandusky has seen his team fall behind for the 4th time in 5 games, shut out in the first quarter for the 5th straight game. This is a 15-yard penalty that sends Albright all the way back to its own 38-yard line. It'll be first and about 24. Port, short drop, throws to Haupt. This one complete. Better throw this time by Port as Haupt is knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Just a gain of 6 on the play. Another tackle for Carroll Dixon. It'll be 2nd down and 18.
Well, they've tried to get Haupt the football in those short yardage dump-off passes, if you will, and just trying to get him some yardage and safe play, if nothing else. But Port, as we talked about, having some trouble gripping the football on his throws. That time, as Steve said, a much better job. This time they go with 3 receivers to one side of the field.
Little half roll by Port on the play action, throwing downfield for Haupt. And again, nowhere near the Albright receiver with 0.2 of a second left in a first quarter that can't end soon enough.
Todd Fairley, the free safety back there, and an outstanding free safety at that number 1 for Widener. Stride for stride with Haupt. And Haupt right now having a tough time breaking free of the secondary for Widener, and Port may just have to find himself a 2nd or 3rd receiver to break open. He's got 4 of them out there right now.
3rd down and 18. Twin receivers each way.
Peschel now in the backfield.
Port under some pressure. Kaba got to him first. Ball comes loose.
Albright got it back, and they're lucky. Purcell there along with Kaba for Widener.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The Lions shut out again, and they find themselves down. After 1 at Shirk Stadium in Reading, it is the Widener University Pioneers 6, the Albright College Lions nothing. Steve Degler and Bob McCool back at rainy Shirk Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania. We are through 1 period in this MAC battle. Widener 3-1 on the season with a 6-0 lead after 1 quarter. Albright trying to stay perfect. The Lions coming in at 4-0. They'll have to punt to start the 2nd quarter. And it's the basketball player, Kyle Brudvig, who will punt this time. 6'8" sophomore from Hollidaysburg, and nobody is back.
They're coming after it quite obviously. All 11 guys are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Brudvig is a left footer. He gets it away. It's partially blocked. Well, Albright has had all kinds of problems protecting the punter this year. They've had 3 blocked and nearly a clean block that time, but Brudvig gets it away to the Widener 38-yard line.
Right now, Albright's lucky he got that far. I don't know how this football got through. Brudvig's a left footer, and here comes the rush. Martorell just went right by the football. Number 22, Martorell went right by the football, and fortunately for Albright, he did, because otherwise it would have been a block punt and great field position for Widener. As it is, the Pioneers will still get it in a pretty good spot at their own 38-yard line.
It's a play where if a guy's a step slower, it benefits. He ran right by Brudvig. Pro throw is the lone setback here on 1st and 10. Toss sweep to the right. Albright has it read pretty well, but a cutback will allow Pro throw to get it across the 40 out to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 5, and that was all Khalif Pro throw, who was able to cut that ball back against the grain.
Well, we talked about why Albright, had obviously keyed on shutting down Pro throw. Now, he can do it as a runner as well as a receiver, but so far we've only seen him as a runner. It's just a simple toss sweep, trying to make him make some plays. They block against the grain, but great pursuit for the football. Matozo leading the way for Albright to get him back. They get him down at their 5-yard gain. 7 carries, 25 yards for Khalif Pro throw so far in this football game. Albright's done a pretty good job of keying on number 26.
Pro throw went 65 yards on a screen pass on the first play from scrimmage last week. Here is Mike Schmidt over the middle. He'll be short of the first down. A well-thrown ball by Lomas once again. The tackle made by Albright's number 35, Pete Minotti, the linebacker.
Again, Minotti making this time a very good open field tackle, but again, Minotti trying to keep up with Schmidt, the middle linebacker, trying to keep up with the slot receiver. Mike Schmidt has had a big impact in this football game in a couple of different ways for Widener, and he is knocked short. Great open field tackle by Minotti, denying him the first down, but it'll bring up 3rd and less than a yard to go for Widener.
Gain of 4 on the play. Lomas under center this time. We'll give it to Pro throw. Flag on the play. Pro throw gets stopped by Butler. It is enough for a first down pending the flag, but a big hit made by number 42, Steve Butler.
Butler has been huge in this game as well for Albright defensively. He's been big in the first 5 games for the Lions. Leading tackler in the season for Albright coming in, and he hasn't done anything to hurt his numbers so far in today's game.
And it's going to be a big call in Albright's favor, holding against Widener. And there it is right there. That's a pretty plain one when you got a hold of the jersey.
Minotti trying to get free, and that's against the offensive lineman. Didn't get the number, to be honest with you, from Widener, who grabbed the hold of the jersey of Pete Minotti. But what matters most to the Lions, and for that matter to Widener as well, is it takes the first down off the board. It'll back them up to a 3rd and 11 situation. 3rd penalty of the first half against the Pioneers.
See if the Lions can get some pressure on Lomas. He's had a lot of time back there, and Butler, leading tackler, with a big hit, but the penalty bails out the Lions for the moment. No backs. Lomas rolling away from some pressure, throws a knuckleball over the middle of the Chick, breaks a tackle, has a first down into Albright territory at the 49-yard line, and the Lions again struggling through a first half. They had the stop and could not make the tackle.
And Chick is just wide open in the middle of the field. He just sat down in the middle of a zone coverage for Albright, and Chick continues to find open daylight in the middle of everything. Lomas looking off his initial receiver. There he sees, look how wide open Chick is. In the middle of the field, leading receiver in the season. Somebody has got to get an assignment and get it straightened out as to what, getting somebody on number 7, Jeff Chick, wide open and picking up a first down for Widener.
Leading the MAC in catches now with 34, his 3rd today. First down, screen pass is set up for Rock. He has big yardage, and another first down as he dives inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 12 more, and the Pioneers are on the move.
And Rock getting a chance to catch the football. Not something that he has had a lot of chances to do so far in this season, but they just dump it off short again. Set up a perfect screen. He's got blockers out in front of him, leading the attack. He's got 4 offensive linemen out in front, leading the way for Dominic Rock to pick up another first down inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. 5th first down through the air for Widener in this first half.
1st and 10, play action. Looking deep is Lomas. He has Schmidt open behind the secondary, and he cannot make the catch on an excellent defensive play by Josh Johnson.
Johnson was burnt initially, but good job of recovering to get back. Schmidt had a good 2-step lead on Josh Johnson, but the sophomore gained ground in a hurry, and Lomas lofted that football just a little bit too much. Watch it all happen. Look how high Lomas throws the football, and watch Johnson recover and get back and just throw that left arm up there. Timed it right to get the arm up there just in time to knock it away from Schmidt, because Schmidt did have a lead on him, but Lomas lofted it a little bit too high, and it allowed Johnson to recover and knock the football away incomplete.
Schmidt in motion, 2nd down and 10. Fake to him. The give is to Prothrow, and Prothrow will be brought down shy of the 35-yard line, and here's a flag behind the play that might go against Albright.
Behind the play, and well after the play was over, to be honest with you. After the play had come down, it's Matozzo who makes another great play. Excuse me, Matazzo. Jeremy Matazzo, the senior out of Kennedy Kendrick High School, has had a big impact up front for Albright.
And it's going to be offsetting, which is really going to bail out Albright. It looked like it was Pond and Schmidt. John Pond for Albright, Mike Schmidt for Widener, who were tangled up behind the play, and each will get flagged here.
And Jeremy Matazzo, again, coming up with a big play defensively for Albright. And what looked to be open field momentarily for Prothrow changes in a hurry. Officials sorting things out right now. There's not much to sort out. The offsetting penalties will just make it 2nd down.
Good news is Matazzo made the good play for Albright. The bad news is he was shaken up on the tackle and is on the bench now. Looks like a leg injury. Getting some attention. We're trying to reset the clock again. It'll be 11:55. And that play will count, by the way. It was a dead ball, personal foul on each side. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Pioneers.
It came after the play was over with, so the play does count. But basically a no-gain play that time for Widener on the great play by Matazzo. And we'll keep an eye on him and see if he can get back in the game. He's already up and on his feet trying to walk it off. Looks like a left ankle injury. But we mentioned a moment ago how deep Albright is up front. They'll use a lot of different players, and they spell, especially at that defensive tackle spot, Dave Schmittinger, the freshman, gets the start, but Matazzo sees a lot of time up front. And there you get a good look at Jeremy Matazzo as he's trying to walk off the pain right now on that left ankle. And Schmittinger, number 51, back in there right now.
11:55 to play in the first half. 6-0 Widener. Matazzo hoping to get back in there. We're having another discussion on the field with the officiating crew, I think, as to whether the down did indeed count. And it stays 3rd down and 10 to go.
Widener already has made their decision as to where they want to go and how they want to play things out at 3rd and 10. But the officials are still not done discussing. Whistle stops play. I think Widener's bench now is questioning what the situation is. They want to know why it's 3rd down as opposed to 2nd.
Steve Dobis, the referee. And David Wood, the Widener head coach, getting an explanation.
David Wood, a graduate of Widener University, 1991 graduating class, and he's the first head coach in a very distinguished program at Division III level. First head coach who graduated from Widener to take over the mantle as the Pioneers head coach. Widener 3rd all-time in Division III with 610 wins. Wittenberg number 1 at 652. Washington Jefferson at 621. And then coming into play today, Widener with 610 wins all-time, 3rd in Division III play.
So it is a 3rd and 10. Lomas out of the shotgun, has protection, throws short to Stever. It is complete as Pond makes the tackle. It's going to bring up a 4th down and about 5 for the Pioneers, maybe a little shorter than 5, and it looks like they're going to kick this one away and try to pin Albright deep. Let's take a look at this short throw again.
Good play by Pond and Minotti to come up. There you're going to see the penetration and the time that Lomas has. He gets rid of the football, and good catch by Stever, a little bit behind him. And here comes Minotti, 35, and then Pond, number 7, that sandwich him and make sure he can't break free for a 1st down.
Schlack is in to punt. And he gets this one away, high and short. Kuramoto will, fair catch, will let it go, and it'll be downed at the 5-yard line by Todd Fairley. They'll put it at the 4, actually, and a struggling Albright offense with 96 yards to go to get on the board. And
Schlack, to his credit, gets off a good punt this time and does what it really has become a specialty of his. That's the 12th time he's pinned an opponent inside the 20-yard line. On that, this is 3rd punt of the day, so that's 27 punts on the season, and 12 of them have pinned the opponent inside the 20-yard line. That's exactly what he was supposed to do. Take it high and short and hope to get somebody downfield to field the punt. Widener doing a good job to get down there and backing up Albright inside the 10, back to around the 5-yard line.
And again, the referee's having a discussion here. And Steve Dobis with another dead ball foul against Albright. Now, that only cost the Lions 2 yards, half the distance back to the 2, but now 98 yards to go. And John Port, leading the MAC in passing, has really had a tough time in the rainy conditions so far this afternoon. Keep it on the ground on 1st down. Ray Keschel gets the carry and brings it across the 5, maybe to the 7. Bring up a 2nd down and about 5 for the Lions.
Keschel just trying, and Albright right now, just trying to get themselves a little bit of breathing room as Port in that first play going in the shotgun and actually standing in the end zone in the process.
Keep it on the ground again. Keschel breaks a tackle, but gets cut down at the 10-yard line. 3rd down and short for the Lions. They need to get to the 12. 10:20 to play in the first half. Keschel from New Tripoli, Pennsylvania. He's 5'5", 165 pounds, a sophomore.
Played his high school football at Northwestern Lehigh, an outstanding program. Outstanding AA program in the Lehigh Valley.
3rd down and 2 for the Lions. Port again gives to Keschel, has a hole and has the 1st down. Big pickup for the Lions on a 3rd down and 2 as Keschel gets it across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The stop on the play made by number 20 for Widener, Fran Golden.
Great hole up the middle for Keschel to run through on the right side. Look at that big hole for Keschel to run through. Great blocking, sealing him off, breaks one tackle, and then just kind of scoots through and gets himself the first down. And a great second effort by Keschel getting the job done.
And here is a dump off to Andrews. Andrews in the right flat is across the 25, close to another first down. And you hope that maybe Port can make a big throw if you're an Albright fan and gain some confidence here this afternoon. He finds Andrews wide open that time, and Albright has another first down.
We talked about it at the open, about that three-headed monster in the backfield for Albright in terms of the running game. And we said that Andrews is the guy that the coaching staff feels the most comfortable for because technically he's the soundest in terms of running, blocking, and as a pass receiver. And there we see Andrews making the catch and getting another first down for the Lions. 6 first downs in the first half for Albright, 4 of them, ironically enough, on the ground. It's something that Albright's going to have to do. They've got to keep the patience right now. They still trail, but they only trail by 6 points.
11 yards on that play. Here is Keschel straight ahead for 3 more to the 30. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Joseph Marangolo, the sophomore, with the tackle for Widener, number 44, pardon me, is E.J. Sandusky out of Penn State University, where his dad, Jerry, patrolled the sidelines with Joe Paterno for many, many years.
Penalty flag down after the snap of the football, really. Port in the shotgun situation and had a heavy rush facing him, and that's when the penalty flag came down. So we'll see if that whistle actually occurred prior to the snap.
Referee Steve Dobis has been busy. This will be against the Lions for a false start. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 12.
A couple steps forward, a couple steps backwards right now for Albright, and the frustration of E.J. Sandusky written all over his face.
And it's just getting worse as the snap goes through the hands of John Port, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Lions, who just can't get anything going again in the first half of a football game.
Port having all kinds of trouble back there, and you can see him trying to shake the rubber, really, that's part of that mixture in the turf. And the snap, not bad. Right there, right in his chest, really, and John Port just didn't hold on. It looks like you can actually see him taking his eye off the football through our camera work there. Great shot along the sidelines by our crew. You can actually see John Port taking his eye off the football to see what was going on in front of him, and the football comes loose.
3rd and 24, and they'll get nowhere near that as Vinny Andrews gets only to the 15-yard line, pickup of 2, and Albright will have to punt it away. And again, it's just been no consistency for the Lions offensively here in the first half.
They just can't really seem to find themselves right now, and they can't seem to find themselves in the first half. As we talked about in the open, and not to beat a dead horse, it's been a comeback story so far through the season. But fortunately for Albright, their defense has done a pretty good job of containing the explosiveness of Widener's offense as well. And the Lions still only trail by 6 points, but it might get worse right now.
Brudvig does not handle the snap as 11 were coming again for the Pioneers, and Brudvig will fall on it at the 4-yard line, and it's 1st and goal for the Widener Pioneers, and the punting has been the Achilles heel for Albright all season long.
They just keep trying to find somebody out there that's going to get the job done, whether it's Seth Kaplan, whether it's Kyle Brudvig, or somebody back there. Pretty soon E.J. Sandusky might go back there and take a snap and take a punt. Nothing wrong with the snap again. Brudvig just couldn't hold on to the football. Football comes loose, and Widener is gearing for this. They're gunning for the special teams mistakes right now, and Albright perhaps panicking a little bit, lose the handle on the football.
Rock gets the carry on 1st down. Maybe a yard to the 3-yard line. Albright has already lost the football 3 times. They turned it over 7 times in the loss against Widener last year, and it has been a struggle through the first quarter and a half today.
It's something you can expect some of those to occur. Sometimes the football is going to come loose. If somebody pops you, you can expect that the football is going to come loose. But when you're fumbling snaps, and good snaps at that, that's just a matter of concentration right now. And that's certainly something that E.J. Sandusky and the coaching staff of the Lions will have to address.
No gain on that play, and now Widener will take a timeout, facing a 2nd down and goal at the 4-yard line. We'll take a break as well. 6:53 to play in the first half. Widener in great shape, leading 6-0, and the ball at the 4-yard line. We're back to Shirk Stadium in Reading in just a moment. Continues to pour here in Reading. It's been doing this, well, since yesterday. Conditions not that great here at Shirk Stadium, but Widener not affected thus far, leading 6-0, second and goal at the 4. Lomas throwing into the flat. It is complete for a touchdown to the fullback, James Fagnani, and Widener up by a dozen with 6:47 to play in the first half for Fagnani. His second touchdown catch of the season. It's the 9th thrown by Lomas.
And it's simply just a little rollout on the part of Lomas. And most cases, and most teams, will do this with their tight end, but Widener chooses to do it with their fullback. And they'll watch Fagnani just kind of roll out, makes it look like he's going to throw a block, and then he's wide open in the corner of the end zone with Johnson trying to catch up. And unfortunately for Albright, not able to do so. Another 6 on the board for the Pioneers.
They will not go for 2, and it's the second straight missed extra point as Frank Vinci bangs it off the left upright. And with 6:47 to play in the first half, it stays Widener 12, Albright nothing. Back at Shirk Stadium in Albright, 6:40, and in Reading, I should say, at Albright, 6:47 to play before halftime. 12-0 Widener in front. Frank D'Angelo kicking off, back deep for Albright. Kuramoto on the left, Keschel on the right. This is a mild deficit for Albright, 12-0.
It's deja vu all over again for our TV audience. Those of you who saw the Kings game 2 weeks ago, this is exactly what happened in that game. Albright making mistakes and being dominated in the first half and fell behind in that game 18-0 before coming from behind and the big win on the last play of the game. And really the same similar situation. Widener has dominated play so far in this game, but Albright's defense, to their credit, working with some serious short yardage situations just a moment ago. But Widener able to finally put this one in. It took him 2 plays from all of 5 yards out. And Lomas will simply fake the handoff, play action fake, and Fagnani's going to roll out of the backfield, lining up as a fullback, fakes a block, and then momentarily just kind of waits just a second in his own head, just kind of the clock in his head. Takes him 2 plays, 4 yards, and all of 40 seconds to score the touchdown.
And the mistakes mount for the Lions as AC drops a short catch on first down and gets a wicked hit to boot from Anthony Huggins. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Lions. And the only thing that has helped Albright, same thing 2 weeks ago, no extra points. It's made a difference, and that's what really helped the Lions overcome the deficit against Kings here 2 weeks ago. Kings did not convert 3 extra points in the first half, and Widener is 0 for 2. Here is Drew Schiller on 2nd down and 10 from the 33-yard line. He'll pick up 3 to the 36, and Albright just can't get itself in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, even 3rd and 3 situations right now.
All right, they had themselves a first down if AC was able to hold on to the football, but AC just at that point in time really hearing the sloshing of Huggins coming up after him, and then he ended up paying the price for it anyhow, despite not making the catch. And right now, Albright just needing a little bit dose of something in their favor, some kind of a break somewhere along the line, a big play by somebody to break things loose and relax them a little bit.
Going downfield for McCauley, who gets his feet taken out from under him. And there is a flag on the play.
That's got to be pass interference without a doubt. At first I didn't see the flag, and that's because the Widener defender was sitting on it. That's the reason we couldn't see the flag. I believe it's Orlando Brown, number 23, who was stride for stride with McCauley. But while the football was in the air, he kind of took McCauley's legs out from under him, and the pass interference penalty is going to give the Lions the 15 yards and a first down.
Actually, the penalty's been the biggest offensive play for the Lions here in the first half, but let's see if they can take advantage of this break. The ball will move into Widener territory at the 49-yard line.
They have had this happen to them before. And here comes McCauley with Brown. Brown is 23, McCauley is 84. The ball is in the air, and boom, there's the shove, and here comes the penalty flag right there. McCauley knew it. The official nailed him right on the spot as Orlando Brown just shoved him. All the football was in the air, and that'll cost you 15 yards.
Schiller on first down rolls his way to the Widener 44-yard line. A pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 with 5 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first half. So Schiller from Havertown.
A lot of time left in this football game, and which Albright has the football now in Widener territory. Now the key is to keep moving the ball forward and not backward.
Here's forward movement. Schiller for 10 to the 34-yard line and a first down for the Lions. Tackle made from behind by number 20, Fran Golden.
Well, I mentioned just a second ago that they need somebody to do something and to make a big play and get the momentum on their side. Well, they got it in the way of a penalty, but however it comes, it helps Albright right now, and you can see a difference out there on the field.
Andrews on first down, not much.
Great play by Mike McFadden, inside linebacker number 40, 5'11", 230-pound sophomore. Closes the gap in a hurry on that delayed handoff, and he gets Schiller before Schiller can get much of a forward progress. There you see McFadden, who makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10 at the Widener 34-yard line. Here's where Albright has taken the step backwards.
Yep. Hold on to the football right now. Make sure the snaps are now coming under center as opposed to the shotgun.
Andrews again. He'll get 2 to the 32-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. Adam Parcell, the junior from Interboro High School, makes the stop.
And right now, if you're Albright, you got to think about this. You're in 4-down territory. It's 3rd down and about 8 now to pick up the first down. You got to get inside the 25 to the 24 to pick up the first down. But really, at this spot and in these conditions, you are in 4-down territory. So you got 2 plays to get it done.
And Port really needs to make a play here. He's going to throw short for AC at the 30-yard line. AC spins to the 26. It'll bring up a 4th down and 2 as McFadden makes another tackle. And you have to think the Lions will go for it here with just over 4 minutes left in the half.
Without a doubt. You're in a definite situation down. 12 points on the scoreboard. You're deep in your own territory. A punt does you no good. Conditions not being at all susceptible to a field goal. 4th down and less than 2 yards to pick up the first down.
It is Andrews standing next to Port. They'll throw on 4th and 2. Short, complete, first down for Haupt at the 20-yard line. And the Lions finally convert on a 4th down today. And they'll have a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Haupt wide open this time. There you see the first down picked up by Albright. 1 for 3 now on 4th downs, and put that one in the memory book. That one may be a big one over the course of this football game to come up with that first down. And here, look how open Haupt is. He's been fighting double coverage all day, but that time just one-on-one coverage, and he was wide open against Fran Golden, the senior cornerback.
There's a great block allowing Andrews to get to the outside. A gain of 4 on the play to the 16. It's 2nd down and 6 for the Lions with 3.5 minutes to play in the first half.
And Albright really in a situation where they can play power football. They got all their timeouts in their pocket. 3 minutes and inside of 3.5 minutes now left in this first half. All you want to do right now if you're Albright is really put this ball in the end zone, and for all intents and purposes want to talk about taking as much time off the clock in the process. You don't want to give Widener a whole lot of time to get the ball back.
Andrews trying to bounce it to the outside, gets around Golden, dives close to the 10-yard line, and let's see where they give him the forward progress. It is right at the 10. It's going to be very close to a 1st and goal situation for the Lions.
This is just a great individual effort by Andrews. This is about not wanting to go down after the initial contact. Straight arm gets him a couple extra yards. Here comes Andrews around the corner. Golden, number 20, is going to come up to try to make the tackle. Straight arms his way through that tackle, and then watch the individual effort. I won't get knocked down by the second tackle either, and finally picks up what looks to be a first down. They are going to mark him down at the 10, 1st and goal to go for the Lions on a great individual effort by Andrews. There you see 14 carries, 45 yards already for Vince Andrews.
And they've got the full 10 yards to go here. Port on first down, great protection, throws for Haupt, nearly caught, then nearly intercepted on the deflection by John Martorell, who has a couple of picks this year, and that one just simply too much for Haupt, a little too much mustard. It's 2nd down and goal.
They send 2 guys deep. McCauley and AC are deep in the end zone, and they want the underside route to Haupt, but Port threw that one a little bit behind him, and where Matt Yost, number 11, could make contact with him and make sure he doesn't make the spectacular catch.
No huddle. Andrews, the lone setback. Port surveying the defense on a 2nd down and goal at the 10. They'll give it to Andrews, trying to turn the corner right side, and he lost his footing at the 9-yard line. If he stays on his feet, he maybe has enough to get to the end zone. Instead, it's 3rd down and goal.
And I'm not sure if the 10-yard line got him or Mike McFadden got him. Let's see what happens to Andrews' feet right now. He's got a lot of daylight right here. And here comes McFadden, but it was actually the 11-yard line that tripped him up. Unfortunately, Andrews on those wet conditions just couldn't keep his feet. He might not have got the end zone, but he certainly would have gotten about 5 yards and given Albright a lot less real estate to work with.
Twin receivers each way. Port looking up the middle for Haupt, got his progress impeded, and no flag on the play as he and McFadden got tangled up. It'll be 4th and goal at the 9.
Haupt and Port both begging for a call, nothing coming from the officials, and now it's decision time for Albright. You're trailing by 12 on the scoreboard. You got the ball at the 10-yard line. You're looking at a 27-yard field goal, and look, there comes Haupt. He wants to throw that slant pass, and some incidental contact really between Golden and Haupt. It was not a holding penalty. It was incidental contact as Haupt was trying to cut across the middle of the field, and I don't know if Port may not have let him too much anyhow, and the decision is in. They're going to try for the field goal, what should be about a 27-yard field goal coming up.
Got a timeout here with 2:05 to play.
Widener are going to call the timeout and make them think about it a little bit.
We'll take a break. Albright in field goal formation. When we come back, will the decision be the same? It's 12-0, Widener leading late in the first half. Well, given a chance to think about it, E.J. Sandusky pulls the field goal unit from the field, and on a 4th down and 9, the Lions show that they will go for it. Instead, they will call a timeout with 2:04 to play here in the first half. It's 12-0 Widener.
See if that wasn't an idea or a ploy on the part of the coaching staff, because they just made Widener burn their 3rd timeout. So even if you don't go for it now and you go for the field goal, Widener gets the ball back with probably less than 2 minutes remaining on the clock, and now no timeouts. So we'll see if they change strategies now, or if this was simply an idea to try to get Widener to burn its 3rd timeout. It worked if that was the strategy. At this point in time, it looks like there you see John Port right in the middle of the huddle, so you have to assume that Albright is indeed going to leave their offense on the field on 4th and goal at the 9.
Albright trying to improve to 5-0. They've come from behind 3 times. The only, quote, easy win was at Susquehanna in week 2. Big one today. Next week, huge at Delaware Valley. Our next telecast will be on the 22nd against FDU Florham, and then back with you against Lycoming here on the 5th of November before the Lions wrap up their regular season play November 12th over in Anvil against the Dutchmen of Lebanon Valley College.
Huge spot in this football game, and a big decision that is finally in. 4th and goal at the 9, and the Lions are going to go for it.
Slot receivers each way for Port. Hard count. Protection, indecision, throwing for Haupt, and it is incomplete. Ball was behind Haupt. Port double pumped a couple of times. There is a flag on the near side of the field. Did he draw somebody offside?
I think that was the intention of the whole situation, and it worked. John Port, as Steve said, went with the hard count, and it worked. It gives Albright new life, and it will give them a lot less room to have to work with. The 5-yard penalty will move it inside the 5 to the 4.
So now do you still go for it, or do you kick now?
Well, if you're going to go for it on 4th and goal at the 9, why not go for it when you're 5 yards shorter? I realize the field goal's that much shorter, but Port with that hard count snap, getting them off sides, and now just trying to throw and get with a free play and see if they can let Haupt make a great play. Instead, it will be 4th and goal to go now at the 4.
Great job by the veteran John Port there. Same formation. Little roll for Haupt, and he has it for the touchdown despite the interference. Brian Haupt hangs on for his 6th TD catch of the season, and a big play late in the first half for the Lions.
And you know, Steve, a lot of this is about the confidence that the coaching staff has with John Port behind center. If it's a sophomore or junior quarterback, the field goal team is out there. But with John Port and his experience and his arm, they feel confident that he can get the job done. He finds his classmate, Brian Haupt fighting through defensive pass interference to get into the end zone. They bumped him off the pass play once before. This time, Haupt would not be denied, and now a very important extra point attempt coming up for Kaplan.
Ivanchik with a high snap. The kick is blocked. The ball is picked up by Kaplan behind the line of scrimmage, but he cannot get in. That ball did not cross the line of scrimmage, so it was a free ball, and another extra point is missed. And there's Haupt, though, who gets the Lions on the board. It stays 12-6 with 1:54 to play here in the first half.
And there you see Haupt on the sidelines, still the heart pumping a little bit. Here's Port. Watch the eyes of John Port, waiting, and here comes Haupt fighting through. You see the penalty flag as Haupt fights off the pass interference penalty and is still able to make the catch on just a simple little slant pattern. Haupt lined up in the slot to Port's left, fights through the defense and gets himself into the end zone. It was 22, John Martorell, who was the defensive assignment of trying to contain Hout. Hout fights his way through that, and Hout's a physical receiver. He is not a guy who's going to shy away from contact at 5'10", and kind of listed a little bit shy. I think he's a little bit more than 170 pounds that they called for, but a great drive by Albright. 14 plays it took him to get there. They thought about going for a field goal. Widener called a timeout and let them change their mind and put the offense back out on the field. And John Port and company get the football in the end zone, and the Lions are right back in this football game.
Tom Fitzpatrick will kick off for Albright. Don't want to make any mistakes here. With 1:54 to play in the half. Mike Schmidt is back deep for Widener, along with Khalid Prothro.
And again, changing up what they did between going for it on 4th down and kicking the field goal forced Widener to burn its 3rd timeout. Actually, they listed as one of those timeouts was charged to Albright. We thought the officials signaled that both of them were for Widener, but apparently one of them was against Albright.
Here's the dangerous Prothro from the 15-yard line. Has a lot of room. Fitzpatrick, the kicker, will get to him inside Albright territory at the 48, and that's a huge mistake by the coverage team, because now 1:45 left and a lot of time for Widener to try and get another score.
And so what we thought was no timeouts remaining for the Pioneers actually turns out that they still have 1 timeout remaining. So they now have a much shorter field to work with, starting from the Albright 48-yard line, as John Port trying to pump up his teammates on the sideline. The Lions are trying to get them, they've gotten the momentum back on their side, but now the defense has to come through for Albright.
And congratulations to John Port, get another record tied, his 96th career touchdown pass that ties Brian Snyder for the school record. And he does it on the 4-yard hook up to Haupt, and here's an incompletion on 1st down for Widener, as Lomas was looking for John Stever. It's 2nd down and 10.
It was it was Pond, not Port. Port does a lot, but he didn't play defense. It was Pond, number 7, and Minotti, number 35, sandwiching Stever a little bit. Lomas has had a very effective day throwing the football despite the conditions. That incompletion now makes him 9 for 13 on the afternoon.
And on a day like today, you got to figure Pond's going to have a big game.
It's only appropriate. This is, you say, normally good day for Ducks. Even Ducks have a tough time today.
And this one is incomplete. Minotti hits Chick. The ball was low and behind the receiver. 3rd down and 10 with 1:37 left in the half. Now, if Albright can get a stop here, the Lions have a couple of timeouts remaining, and they might have some time left to try and get something else before halftime.
We've been talking about Jeff Chick being open time and time again in the middle of the field against Albright's defense, but that time the Lions had found Jeff Chick. Lomas was looking for him again on a little dump-off pass, hoping to complete the pass and maybe pick up a couple extra yards. Minotti that time was right with Jeff Chick, and the football was thrown a little bit behind him and incomplete.
3rd down and 10. Lomas, good protection, trying to find a receiver. Butler, the only one to get a hand on it as he was looking for Chick again. Albright only rushed 4 that time. Good coverage, and 1:32 left. And the Lions will need to make a play in special teams here.
Lomas again looking for Chick. He's looking only at Chick. He looks off him momentarily, but his eyes are set on going to Jeff Chick. That was his intended target out of the huddle, and he went for him despite double coverage. Butler and company there to knock it away for the Lions, and Albright should get the football back with 2 timeouts remaining.
Schlack to punt it away. Kuramoto back deep for the Lions.
The Lions look like they're coming after it. They got 10 men at the line of scrimmage.
They do come after Schlack, who gets it away. A wobbly kick will roll inside the 20 again. Why not? And they'll let this one die at about the 19-yard line with 1:22 to play in the half. 2 timeouts for the Lions, who trail 12-6.
I really like Doug Schlack as a punter. He's a smart guy back there. He did make the one mistake with that elevator shaft punt that gave Albright great field position, but he gets the job done back there. Very heady player, very smart player, an academic All-American at Widener College, and he just does what he has to do and pins Albright back inside the 20 again. So 4 punts on the day for Schlack, and 2 of them have pinned Albright inside their own 20-yard line.
Port just 54 yards in the first half. He does have the touchdown. He's got some time here. On 1st down, nobody open. Throws short for Haupt. He comes back to the football. Brian Haupt across the 20. Very short gain. Lions will go in a hurry here with 1:10 to play in the half. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
And out that time, shaking loose of a double team. He's got linebackers on him. McFadden and Yost trying to keep up with Hout, and Hout was able to shake loose, but only for a 4-yard pickup.
I'll give it to Andrews on 2nd down and 6, and Andrews will only get 2 to the 25. Lions might need to take a timeout here with a 3rd down and 4 coming up, and 45 seconds left in the half.
They still have 2 left. They're not using one right now. A little bit surprised that they're not burning a timeout right now.
Port, again, good protection, going deep for Cerise, and he can't catch up to it at the 40-yard line.
So trying to go for the home run ball, but Port can't quite hook up with Cerise, and I can tell you exactly right now what John Port is arguing with. It looked like the defender, Orlando Brown, may have just kind of reached out and grabbed a hold of the jersey of Cerise. It looked it very quickly, and if he did, he got away with it very effectively, and I think Port saw that, and he was begging for a pass interference penalty or a holding penalty against the secondary. Can't tell you for sure whether or not Brown did it, but if he did, he got away with it, and that's what a good cornerback will do. It's not cheating unless you get caught at it, and it will force Albright to punt the football.
3rd punter, Nick Brightbill, who sometimes rolls out on the punt. He'll do that here, and then look, he's going to keep the football. Brightbill needs to get to the 35. He does. He has the 1st down across the 40 to the 41-yard line. It's like a rugby play that E.J. Sandusky uses. It's a punt, run, pass option, and Brightbill made the right call, and Albright will call a timeout with 21 seconds left.
So now you know why they kept the 2 timeouts in their pocket, thinking that they might use this play. That's what they call it. They call it a rugby punt, and it is an option for Brightbill. If he sees open territory to his right, he's supposed to run with it. If he doesn't, he kind of runs with it and then kicks the football rugby style on the run. But Brightbill saw open daylight, got a 1st down, and then made just a great individual effort to break a couple of tackles and keep on going past the 40 to the 42-yard line before he's finally brought down. And Nick Brightbill had a big catch 2 weeks ago in the win over Kings. Comes up with a big play this time on special teams.
17 yards for Brightbill, the senior from Cedar Crest, who did not play last year because of back problems. Albright with 1 timeout remaining, 21 seconds left.
That's a gutsy call by the coaching staff of the Lions, but it pays off.
Port back to throw, escapes the pressure, then tries to dump one off.
And that's the best thing that could have happened, is an incomplete pass. Port trying to make something happen right there, and with that number 4 jersey, looked like a kind of a Brett Favre kind of situation, trying to make something happen when he knows he was wrapped up and didn't want to get sacked because the clock will continue to run, but the incomplete pass actually ends up stopping the clock as he fights off the rush and then just kind of dumps it, trying to hope Schiller can make something happen, but more importantly, stopping the clock on the incomplete pass.
2nd down, 14 seconds to play, and another incompletion for Andrews, who was well covered. 9 seconds left in the half. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, a special piece on the Shriners Hospital. It is the 55th annual Pretzel Bowl here at Shirk Stadium, put together by the Rajah Shriners, who do such great work with children. And stay tuned for that piece coming up at halftime. Then Bob and I will be back with 1st half highlights and stats from here at Shirk Stadium, where it's been soggy all day. 3rd down and 10 with 9.7 seconds left. And Albright will run it. Andrews will get to the 48-yard line, and that'll bring us to the end of the 1st half at Shirk Stadium at Albright College in Reading, Pennsylvania. The Lions again did not play a great. Now wait. Albright's going to call a timeout. Albright's going to call a timeout with 0.8 of a second left. Where's Andy Cerise?
That's exactly what you got to think about. You got to think about the situation as a little bit further back in terms of real estate than where they were at the last play. But the design here is to use that last timeout for one intention and one intention only. Have John Port just fire the ball into the end zone and see if somebody can make a play in the end zone. It worked in a win over Kings. Maybe it happens on the last play of the half. But what you do is you run that clock down far enough that Widener cannot possibly get the football back if there's an interception or if there's a sack of John Port. It would stop the clock.
Well, let's go back 2 weeks ago on the final play of the game against Kings. 31 yards this time, and Port Port looking into the left corner of the end zone. 2 Kings players there, and Andy Cerise comes up with a deflection, a 31-yard touchdown pass on the final play of the game, giving Albright an improbable 29-27 victory.
Well, you saw on that replay 2 weeks ago it was to the left side. This time it's 3 receivers to the right side, and that's where you got to assume that John Port will roll out and buy himself some time.
Throwing deep, well short of the end zone, deflected by AC and incomplete, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Is it the same old story for Albright College? A poor first half, a big second half. Stay tuned, we'll find out. Piece on the Shriners coming up next. Highlights, stats from Shirk Stadium after that. At the break, it is Widener 12, Albright 6.